will expand on more. We will win. Augie, we can't go back. I don't think people understand what is at the core of this struggle. The core of this struggle is this. If your son or daughter comes home today and asks you, Daddy, am I a slave? You won't tell the kid, oh, yes, you are a slave. That kid is asking you that question because he or she is likely angry because somebody called them a slave. What we are involved in now is not just for ourselves. We don't want our children and grandchildren to grow up and be called a slave by somebody someday who has come to settle in their place and take over their lives. Slavery is a sin. Slavery is a crime. Slavery is wrong. And that is the main thing that we are fighting for. So those who are struggling to be leaders in the Southern Cameroon struggle need to understand that this is the main thing that is leading us.
Fellow Southern Cameroonians, fellow Ambazonians, today, Wednesday, the 6th of September 2017, marks a very important turning point in our struggle, as His Excellency Sisiko Ayok Tabe had announced. The Governing Council comes to you at the end of these very 3 important days that we as a people had decided we will use to send a message to Yaoundé and to the international community that indeed we mean business and that the time is up. The Governing Council sends a very big thank you to all our citizens in the homelands in particular, and those in the diaspora for all the wonderful work you have done. Indeed, over the last 3 days, We have demonstrated the power of our collectivism, our indivisibility, our oneness as Southern Cameroonians and Amazonians, our unbreakable bond. We had continued in the footsteps of Chief Ayamba, Ambassador Fosong, and all our other leaders that came before us. That of liberating our land through peaceful means, using non-violence and nothing else. You, the people, spoke to us, and as the Governing Council, in pronouncing your voices, we had declared that we will move into a 3 days ghost town from Monday to Wednesday. This evening, citizens of our land, we come to you in celebration. We come to you with joy because indeed you have spoken. There is no bolder way than this. Across the 13 counties of our land, the ghost towns were observed excellently. The minimum pass rate in any of our counties was at least 94%. And in most of them, it was observed 100%. This is the best way to send a message to the colonizer that indeed we have declared our freedom and that we are defending our freedom. Citizens of our land, you know the cabal in Yaoundé had released some of our leaders in their characteristic style of divide and rule in order to set confusion amongst our ranks, deceive the international community, and see the resumption of schools. But all our people, all remain, from parents to teachers to students and people. You listened to your governing authority, the Governing Council. You adhered to the instruction to the letter. You stayed at home in the spirit of the non-violence nature of our revolution. The schools were completely deserted, and indeed, Yaoundé was embarrassed. They got a message louder than they would have ever imagined, that never and never again we will succumb to the voices of colonizers, their bribery, their trickery, and their intrigues. That the people collectively have decided that enough is enough. That the people have refused to cooperate with you because indeed only a coward will cooperate with a colonizer and an annexist. Citizens of our land, we however celebrate the success of the past 3 days half-heartedly. We are beaten and bruised. Our hearts are so broken as this terrorist government unleashed its repressive techniques and sent its gun-toting soldiers, trigger-happy, into our homes in our silent moments, into our shops, breaking them down, attacking our people and brutalizing them. And in their characteristic style of never respecting human rights, human dignity, and the privacy of free human beings. They fell onto the village of Bam-Kifem. And as you would imagine, civilized military personnel going out to protect their own and protect territory, the colonizer went out to steal, to rob, and to loot. And while that was done in Bam village, and Southern Cameroonians knowing fully well that it is their right to put bandits where they are, as they came out to stop these criminals, our people were shot upon. One killed, many wounded fatally. This indeed triggered and ignited the protests you saw streaming from Bamkifem through Kumbu. This pushed our people to send a message to this terrorist government that you cannot do this again. We cannot allow you again to even get into our own homes when we are peaceful and attack us. And in their anger, they marched onto different structures. But in the characteristic style of these criminals and bandits, they continued shooting on our people. That led to the burning down of a school, and many more of our people maimed, killed, and many families left distressed. Citizens of our land from the governing council, we are heartbroken. His Excellency Sisikua Yoktabi sends a special message of condolence to the families of Cyprian Sevitzim, Abdul Azil Kongso, and all others that were shot, killed, and maimed with live bullets, and very sadly, on defenseless, peaceful citizens. Citizens of our land, this indeed is a mourning time for our nation. In the footsteps of Fongoji Dinka, Pafo Fongala, Mulanjo Litumbe, we have maintained the struggle for the sovereignty of our nation on the lines and ideologies of civilized men, that of peaceful resistance. But we would want to send a message to Yaoundé that your brutality, your repression, this undisclosed state of emergency that has led to you deploying thousands of troops in our towns and cities, some in military wear and others in civilian wear. That has led to you, the government of La République du Cameroon, declaring and giving authority to your security men and women to perpetrate acts of arson, to kill, to maim. These acts, these deplorable acts of yours, have only but done one thing, have increased the resolve of our people to stay the course, to remain resolute, focused, until we get to Boya. It has equally done another thing. It has confirmed the message various diplomatic committees and delegations have been sharing with the civilized world, that yours is a terrorist government, that Yaoundé is made up of a cabal, criminals whose only job is to loot, and most of the times deploy such looting into countries that do not need them. We call upon the citizens of our land to remain resolute. We call upon citizens of our land to have a word of prayer, show solidarity and support to these families whose loved ones unfortunately paid the ultimate price. This was never the plan, and that is why we had asked all our people to stay at home, because we know in the comfort of your home you are safe. To the school boycotts, we say, what a wonderful moment in our history. What a message to Yaoundé. Bold, loud, and clear. That we have finally been emancipated. Your educational curriculum and staff deployments that were designed to destroy our people have collectively been rejected by our people. The bribes, the crisscrossing of your colonized land, and all the illegal messages, falsehoods, that have been aired on CRO-TV have only but exposed your government as one full of bad faith, lies, and intrigues. So yes, Yaoundé has been very embarrassed. Yes, Yaoundé has been exposed very badly. That even your diabolic attempt to misinform the international community that all is well in the Cameroons have but come to null. Our people have sent a message to Yaoundé that Yaoundé, you have been defeated, that Yaoundé, you have failed. Yaoundé, you have learnt your own lesson, and that we hope that with this lesson, you will leave the Southern Cameroons alone. Our people have sent that very strong and bold message that never and never and never again will we permit the colonizer to lord over us. Never and never and never again will we permit the colonizer to occupy us, to rape our land, to rape our resources, to rape our people, to destroy our children, destroy our towns, and make even our cities like war-torn areas without water flowing through the taps or constant electricity. Never and never and never again. Our people declare, away Yaoundé, away, away. Away Yaoundé, away, away. Away the terrorist government of Yaoundé, away, away. Away the terrorist government that has killed, maimed, and violated our people, away, away. We send a strong message to Yaoundé that annexation is a crime against humanity and a threat to world peace. This is according to the United Nations. We equally send a message to Yaoundé that this conflict between La République du Cameroun and the Southern Cameroons is indeed a political conflict. It is a conflict where the United Nations must come in higher. The United Nations must use United Nations treaties and international instruments to correct its wrongs of the early 1960s, to complete the work that it left undone. We must remind the United Nations that this conflict is not an internal conflict. La République du Cameroun and the Southern Cameroons, in respect of inherited colonial boundary treaties and international law, are two distinct nations with two distinct people. And that if the United Nations doesn't come in now to avert this crisis, we must warn that the impending genocide and the blood of our people will be on the hands of the members of the Security Council. It will be on the hands of members of governments of civilized societies. It will be on the hands of particularly those who will be attending the United Nations General Assembly in New York this month from the 12th to the 25th of September. We alert the United Nations that the Southern Cameroon's people will be at the venue. We will be there to tell the world that 56 years of servitude is enough. We have demonstrated as one man that the Southern Cameroon's people across our national territory have rejected the colonizer. We will be demonstrating to the United Nations that our forebearers over the years had sent petitions, that our people have been beaten and battered, and that you've turned a blind eye for too long. That Dr. Aziz, having brought 2 maps to the presidency of La République du Cameroun in 2010, should indeed help the United Nations to use that occasion as one with a clear message that these 2 people can never be won. So based on inherited political philosophies, administrative and legal systems, our history, culture, core values, the truth about it is La République du Cameroon and the Southern Cameroons are diametrically opposed and cannot coexist under one national polity. So the longer the United Nations forces these two people together, the more the blood of the innocent, like that of Cyprian, Sevizit, Abdul Azif, and the many more that have died before them, killed in jail, shot with live bullets, forced on exile, their blood will be on you, the United Nations, first, even before La République du Cameroon, because your responsibility as the global governing body is to ensure that there's peace and security in the world. We call upon the occupier, the Yaoundé cabal, the Rogue regime in Yaoundé, to pull out of the Southern Cameroons, to pull out of Ambazonia immediately. For you have heard the language loud and clear from our people, that indeed your secession law of 1984, His Excellency President Paul Biya, President of La République du Cameroon, has indeed been respected by our people. We call upon La République du Cameroon, the cabal in Yaoundé, to release all our people. It is just the civilized thing to do. It's a criminal offense when you arrest people, when they merely use the right to freedom of expression, freedom of association, and freedom of meetings. The question we continue to ask Yaoundé is, what is Mancho BBC's crime? Why was Mancho BBC the only prisoner from your house, from the terrible jails in Yaoundé, that you chained and ran him into your military court? What was his crime? Nelson Mandela Mancho BBC, the face of our revolution. We will forever remember you as Southern Cameroonians. For on that fateful day, when you surprised the world with a coffin and made a statement that this coffin is your size, that you have measured it, and that as you were coming out on that day, you were ready to die. Comrade Manto, you did not do that for Mancho. You didn't do it for your mother or your father. Comrade Mancho, you did it for me. You did it for my brothers, my sisters. You did it for all Southern Cameroonians and Ambazonians, those that remain in the occupied land, and those that were brought into the diaspora as political refugees, economic refugees, academic refugees, and what have you. You did it because at one point, one person must be a sacrificial lamb for his generation. You choose to give your generation a better life over your own life. Comrade Mancho, the Southern Cameroons will never forget you. Ambazonia would never forget you. Comrade Mancho, all freedom fighters around the world now know your name has entered the Hall of Fame. And the more La République keeps you into that hell, the more they have diabolic plans against you, the more indeed every Southern Cameroonian becomes a Mancho. The more every Southern Cameroonian gets up every day from bed and says, I am Mancho BBC, and goes to sleep and says, I am Mancho BBC. So yes, you stood up for justice. And of course, our cause is legitimate. Our cause is just. And for that reason, and because your resistance was noble, we promise you, Comrade Mancho BBC, that as Southern Cameroonians we will never fail you. To Senator Penn Terrence, we salute you, comrade. Indeed, you followed in the footsteps of Mancho BBC. Yes, you did. You had a good job and a good salary with a beautiful family that wanted you by them every time. But you decided that you will indeed defend the people and the people of our country. We thank you so much, Senator Penn Terrence. We are doing this for you. This is not like we do not know we are dealing with a very evil regime. But let it be known that good will always triumph over evil. For the days of La République du Cameroon are numbered. To Comrade Asa, Patrick Dango, Atanga Celestine, and many others held in jail, we heard your voices. You said you know that you were kidnapped and taken in the disguise of night into bunkers for no just cause. But in your heart of hearts, your sacrifices are for a good cause. And even if it means that you will be slaughtered by this evil regime, you're willing to do that to deliver free Ambazonian for your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children. So we send a message to Yaoundé again that the Southern Cameroon's people have spoken. Yaoundé, respect the voices of the civilized world. The African Union, the United Nations, human rights bodies in Britain, Amnesty International, and many friendly countries have asked you to do and release all the remaining detainees. Yaoundé, do that. But that is the right thing to do. Do that so that serenity can reign in your land and in our land. Yaoundé, we ask you to immediately stop all arbitrary arrests, all arbitrary abductions and detentions. Immediately stop the disappearance of our citizens. It's a very criminal thing for a government to arrest people who do not have a crime, take them to locations, and their families are not able to locate their loved ones. Worst case, when it is heard that some have been killed, buried in mass graves, and others continue to live in bunkers. We ask the international community not to turn a blind eye to these crimes against humanity. La République du Cameroon, your last acts of voting millions of francs CFA and deploying thousands of additional military men with instructions of recalling men, security forces currently fighting Boko Haram, deployed in the villages and towns of La République du Cameroon, is a provocation of the highest order in the 21st century. We ask upon you to stop these diabolic acts with immediate effect. We ask upon the international community to continue to put pressure on the cabal in Yaoundé. We thank the international community for the work you are doing, for the pressure you're putting on this government. We celebrate you and thank you for that. But we say that's not enough. Enough. The culture that people must be massacred and butchered before you deploy UN forces to come and be in a buffer zone to ensure that lives are saved cannot be promoted. So as the Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia looks forward to celebrating the 1st of October and restoring our independence as a free nation, as a sovereign state, where our people can live freely, think freely, plan freely, and manage their own affairs, we call upon the United Nations to come in into the buffer zone, coming into the international boundary between the Southern Cameroons and the Republic of Cameroon, and ensure that we can safeguard loss of lives, loss of property, and bring untold strife to peace-loving citizens of the Southern Cameroons, as well as peace-loving citizens of the Republic of Cameroon. For our fight is against that of a criminal government whose job is to lure. We send a message to Yaoundé to investigate the killings, investigate the maimings, investigate the rape, investigate the looting by your soldiers. This has been a consistent message from the leadership of the Southern Cameroons and Governing Council from the time we had executive authority over our people. And we note that you have not done that. We note that after the brutal killings of our people in Bam Kifem and in Kumbo, you did the ceremonious thing by arbitrarily dismissing or suspending whatever it is the company commander of crew, sending messages of condolences to the bereaved families, but at the same time using your Ministry of Defense to send a message through your propaganda media CRTV that the military were under attack and hence the military had to shoot in self-defense. What a shame. We ask your government, since when does the government send messages of condolence to terrorists? What hypocrisy. What cheap hypocrisy. So we ask Yaoundé to do the right thing, but we assure you that with our international partners, every single one of these crimes will be investigated and the perpetrators will be brought to book. We send a message to the security forces, to the police, the gendarmes, the military, and the bees. They want that when you act as individuals. That the people as citizen journalists are collecting evidence of your individual crimes. And that when you will be judged as an individual. You must remember that when you shoot defenseless citizens, you are a mother. This message should be very clear to the security forces of La République du Cameroon. We ask you to remember that most of you are husbands, wives, you have children and family. And that when you shoot at our people with live bullets, just ask yourself, if these were bullets being rained down on your own biological children and family members, how will you feel? We ask you to show restraint. We ask you to copy from the Arab Spring, when the illegal governments asked the military to shoot at defenseless civilians, and the military joined them against the government. We ask the security forces to join the people of Ambazonia to defend their land and free their people. We ask you to do the right thing so that one day you do not receive live jail terms for carrying out others without using your brains. We ask our brothers and sisters in these security forces, we ask you to get ready to come back. We know you are suspects where you are. We ask you to remain very vigilant and to be safe. For a very clear message from the Governing Council is, we are not willing to lose a hair from any of our people. So yes, to La République du Cameroon, the right thing and stop the hypocrisy. Yield to the calls that you have persistently heard from different notables around the world. Remember that when Kofi Annan visited Cameroon in the year 2000, he told you you were sitting on a time bomb. Then it was the Anglophone problem. You never had that advice. Kofi Annan advised you, Mr. Paul Biya, to get into honest dialogue with SCNC. You failed to succumb to wisdom. In 2009, the African Court of Human and People's Rights, after declaring the Southern Cameroons as a pupil, asked you to immediately get into constructive dialogue. You asked for 180 days. It's 2 decades afterwards. You are using arrogance instead of using civilized means, which is dialogue. When you started shooting and raping our people, and the international community was alarmed, the chair of the African Commission, Dr. Dlamini Zuma, in January 2017, called upon you to show restraint and enter into dialogue, and even offered that the African Union was willing to mediate. The AU is still waiting. In May 2017, when the United Nations Secretary General's representative for Africa visited the two Cameroons and had first-hand evidence of what was happening, Mr. President of La République du Cameroon, they gave you a message to get into dialogue, and they offered to mediate. Until date, they are still waiting to get a yes from you. And after your diabolic release, the arrogant release of the 30th of August 2017, when you, using divide and rule, release only some of our people, who are now with the Southern Cameroon people 100%, the United Nations Secretary General himself spoke through his Secretary General. We are now talking of the 31st of August 2017, breaking September, that you should get into constructive dialogue immediately and unconditionally, and fast-track the release of all remaining peoples of the Southern Cameroons under your detention. President of La République du Cameroon, all of these notables are still waiting. And lastly, when you sent a delegation of your government ministers to different countries, and particularly to the United Nations, to tell them that all was well, and that the ghost towns had died, and that schools were going to begin, they gave you one message: go back to the Cameroons and get to the root causes of this problem. That if you are able to tackle the root causes of this problem, then the crisis itself will be dealt with. From the Governing Council, we are still sending a message to you, Mr. Paul Biya, President of La République du Cameroon, and to the international community, that as civilized people, rooted in the non-violence philosophy of liberating our people, we remain ever ready for constructive, honest dialogue on a round table by our two peoples in front of the international community in a neutral country with third parties, which in our case must include the African Union, the United Nations, Britain and France as principal parties, so that this conflict indeed can be resolved as civilized as possible. We ask upon this meeting to happen as soon as possible. We say from the Governing Council, His Excellency Sisiko Ayok Tabe, the voice of our struggle, and all members of his leadership are ready for the meeting. But that this meeting can never take place if it is not in the spirit of two states equal in status, as was the condition signed by our forebears when we willingly decided to join La République du Cameroon and run a federal government, something that never happened because of the intrigues of the fraudulent and corrupt government of French Cameroon. The Governing Council equally states on record that only the Governing Council can decide who will be members to form the delegation into this dialogue meeting. But that such a delegation would never happen if Mancho BBC, if Penn Terence, if Asa Patrick Ndango, and all our other leaders that remain the voice of our people are not sitting side by side with His Excellency Sisiko Ayoktabe and other members of the Governing Council. Citizens of our land, we had indicated that we are overjoyed with our brothers and our leaders, Comrade Dr. Barrister Agbobala, Dr. Fontaine Neba, Justice Aya Paul, joining our ranks. We know they've gone through hell over the last almost 8 months. We respect the right to rest a little bit. We equally respect the right to choice. And we know that when it is time, they will do the right thing. Let it be known that the breach of federation was bombed on the 17th of January 2017, when Bala Fontaine and then Justice Aya were arrested, and so many of our other compatriots. Let it be known that all of these sacrifices by all our people across the board was ignited by this illegal kidnapping and abduction of our people. And we know that these leaders will do the right thing. For legitimacy in a struggle only comes when you speak the voice of your people. And of course, from the Governing Council, we continue to send a message to Yaoundé that we now hear you've sent agents to go around the world and kill some of us. His Excellency Sisiko Ayok told you, and I want to repeat that on behalf of the Governing Council, that your cabal can kill all the leaders. 1,000 more leaders have already been born. You can kill the flesh, but you never kill the spirit of liberation that has arose in our people. You can kill the flesh. You can persecute our people. You can abduct them, lock them up in bunkers, starve them. You can even do whatever you want. But be rest assured that the resolve of our people is unshakable. That we will never surrender. Never. And we promise you we will free our people. We will free our people in our lifetime. And at the 1st of October, the day of our restoration, is a day full of certainty. Because indeed, that day will be a day of celebration. It will be a day when freedom will finally come to our land. We from the Governing Council would then want to thank our people that this pressed time from the Governing Council, from your State House, comes to mark the end of the first 3 days of the ghost towns that were declared by the Governing Council and respected across our land by all our people. We want to thank you very much for your loyalty to the cause. We want to thank you very much for your perseverance. We want to thank you very much for your focus. And we want to assure you that as your leaders, we will never betray you. The Governing Council will in conclusion send a very strong message to La République du Cameroon security forces that you are warned. And to the international community, we would want to call upon you to sanction the criminal acts perpetrated by the cabal in Yaoundé, extralegal executions of our people, rape of our citizens, violence perpetrated against girls and women, brutality and maiming of peaceful civilians, unrestrained use of arbitrary force, excessive force on our people, outright theft, extortion, banditry, and looting when they send out their criminal security forces. And finally, to our people, we say thank you. We are very proud of you. We are very proud of your persistence and your resolve. Indeed, we have made great progress. We have made unimaginable progress. You, our people, have a right to declare that we have won, because indeed we have won. The time is now. Thank you, Ambazonians. Thank you, Southern Cameroonians, for your land will be free in not too distant time from now. You will become free people. You would live in a land where you have a right to speak, you have a right to question authority, you have a right to hold your leaders accountable. You live in a land where security forces, the police, the gendarmes, and the military will do what they call customer service in the execution of their duties. They will be normal human beings and not brutes like what we see with the occupiers. We assure you that freedom is coming. It's coming very soon, and there's nothing anybody can do to that. We say, let Ambazonians continue the resolve to fight and free our land. We say, remember that ghost towns will be every Monday to Wednesday until the governing council has changed that. We equally remind you that there will be no schools resuming anywhere in our land. I must use this moment to say, the 4th of September 2017, our Passover Day was the greatest of all. White handkerchiefs were tied all over our national territory, on trees around your houses, on fences, on your gates, on the streets, in farms, inside your parlors, everywhere. We had messages that whistles were heard hovering all over our national territory, and it is thanks to whistles that we did not have this criminal government arresting any of our people in Bankifem, in Kumbu, across our national territory. So remember that schools remain closed. Keep your children at home. Keep them at home and keep them safe. The educational alternative that will be released very soon will be the best. We assure you, it will be the best. It's a combination of educational models from the best in the world. We will be aligning our educational calendar to the educational calendar of most civilized countries. That will stop your children from finishing school and having to wait for so long, especially when they want to travel abroad and further their studies, because of the misjointed nature of the Republic of Cameroon educational calendar. So rest assured that the promise of a new Ambazonia, a new country, a country made up of milk and honey, a country full of hope, a country that is truly developmental, democratic, and prosperous is indeed true. A country where leadership will be true leadership. Servant leadership is really true. A country where the people will govern class is indeed true. So let's stay focused. Let's continue our resistance. Let's keep it non-violent. Let's pray to our God and continue to celebrate as we march decisively towards our Restoration Day, the 1st of October 2017. We thank you, and God bless Southern Cameroons. Citizens of the land, that marks the end of the official message from His Excellency Sisiku Ayok Tabe, President and leader of our revolution and our nation. Deacon Patasang Wilfred, Vice Chairperson of the Governing Council, and all our leaders, including the legends of our struggle, Pa Molanjo Litume, Fofo Ngala, Ambassador Fosong, Fongoji Dinka, and you name the rest. So a now open room for questions and comments. We ask upon our citizens who will be calling into studio to celebrate this tall, odd, and great moment in our history, to tune down or switch off your receivers when you call into studio. Shout out your name, the location where you're calling from, and please, when you pass your message, keep it short, go straight to the point, either in the form of a question or message. And like I said the last time, you're allowed to call into studio during the press hour and address the people of your area. So look at the numbers on the screen and you may now call. And while we are waiting our first callers, we ask upon you to register at SCACUF.org. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller, how are you, sir?
Yes, Cape Town.
Greetings from Cape Town. Please carry on. All right. I'll call. Yes, that line is not very clear. Maybe just move around where you are and be audible. Let me see if I can get you.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Oh, you're calling from Cape Town, Kumba. My comrade and competitor from Kumba agreed you. Carry on, please. Can you hear me? All right. I'm struggling to get that caller. I'll call on the technical department just to check if it's the caller or it's our systems, but the lines are still open. Fellow citizens of our land, fellow viewers, you may call into studio. I'm Milton Taka, SCACUF spokesperson for Africa, speaking on behalf of the Governing Council at the end of our first 3 days of Ghost Town as we march towards the 1st of October. Viewers, our lines are still open. Hello? I could hear somebody's trying to call, but I'm struggling to get to hear that caller.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, caller?
Hello?
Hello, caller?
Hello?
Yes. Hello, caller, can you hear me? If you hear me, please carry on. And remember, we've declared tonight from the Governing Council, away with our republic, away. And that is the message you must do in your houses. Away with our republic, away. We must push them out of our land and liberate our land and give our people space to live freely and in peace. Callers, can you hear me? All right, we are still struggling to get our first caller coming through, but the lines are still open. And we ask upon any callers to call into studio. Hello, caller? Okay, we're struggling. Hello? Yes, hello, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Carry on, my sister. How are you?
Okay, perfect. I just want to ask you, I was doing a great job, and I'm calling from Kumba.
Okay.
What happened in Korea, really so high. We have picture, the whole time is leaked up, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's not easy, it's not easy. But we are praying that, for that first,
Yes.
come, thank you very much.
My sister from Kumbo, thank you so much. What happened in Kumbo was appalling. It was sad. It was uncivilized. It was provoked. Our people were locked in the house. They were not on the street protesting. God forbid.
Good evening, my spokesman.
My brother, good evening. Very good to hear from you. Uncle P. Oh, we know your voice so well, my brother. Good to hear from you. Carry on, Uncle P.
Yes. Well, I just want to take this chance to thank the people of Ndop.
Yeah.
And also express my condolence to those who lost their lives in Kifem.
Yes.
In Kumbu.
Yeah.
And then congratulate them once more for showing the government of French Cameroon that we are ready to take our matters in our own hands.
Yeah.
We are ready to lead ourselves to the next future.
Yeah.
We are ready to manage our state's issues ourselves.
Yeah.
So the message has gone through clearly that nobody wants the East Cameroon government again in our territory. So, and secondly, I want to plead that our people should keep themselves away from them. If possible, they should not even sell them food in any of our regions. They shouldn't even attend to them if they come to shops to buy. If that is possible, we should keep to this. Avoid them in everything. Don't sit with them in the same place and drink. If they enter a bar, you will go out and leave them that bar. Let them feel that they are not wanted. I'm really feeling this in my heart because we have shown them already enough. But since they are so silly not to see that we don't want them, we should avoid them in every aspect of life. And then I want to again tell our Francophone brothers who are in our region, mostly those who are attending the French school or who kids or children are attending the French school, that we have shown them that we don't want the educational system they are bringing to us. So they should stop going to school too. We out here, we may not be responsible for what will happen to them. Because the government is bent at doing anything. The government can even harm them and tell them that we are those doing that. They have seen it happen in several occasions. So please, my Francophone brothers, my Bamileke brothers, where they stay for country, more avoid the same beginning of school too, for French school too. Because the government, for the way it be middle of a small town, they can't kill na beginning and say that some Cameroon don't kill na beginning. So keep na beginning of our house, I beg una. That has gone through. I hope so that don't hear me. The one for French school from top, French school for any place. I beg when I keep na beginning of our house, na beginning. That French school for Southern Cameroon land. When I keep that beginning of our house, don't send them to school. Because when I government of East Cameroon, they feel they will do anything. But we be terrorists. But God knows that we not be terrorists. That they be the terrorists. So I thank when I blame the Southern Cameroon president. Once more, bravo for the good sign when I don't show the Republic of Ben. I thank when I blame it.
But Uncle P, thank you so much. And I think I just want to re-echo words of appreciation and thanks to all Ambazonians from Kumbo to Kumba, from Batibo to Tiko, from Mutengene to Moyoka, from Bali to Bafut, from Wum to Funkankang, everywhere in a national territory, that you stood together as one man. You showed resolve, you showed the power of our collectivism, you showed what people power can do. And remember, that is our tool to liberation. So yes, congratulations for observing the ghost towns and the school boycott to almost 100% across our national territory. That message was loud and clear. And again, just to re-echo what Uncle P has said, to citizens of La République du Cameroon living in the southern Cameroons, the Governing Council has persistently assured you of your safety amongst our midst, because as civilized citizens, we believe in protecting all that live in our midst, in ensuring that all that in our midst are secure and safe. We ask upon you to resist any form of rebellion against the law of the land. Because unfortunately, that becomes provocation, and the governing council is not on any strict corner in the southern Cameroons. We want you safe, and it is important you take practical steps to be safe by respecting the law of the land, which is the law of the southern Cameroon people. So, good evening, sir. Greetings, how are you? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Greetings. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, please carry on. You're very clear.
Hello.
Carry on. You're very clear. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, this is a brother calling from Kumbu.
Wow. We want to hear from you. Talk to us. Talk to us, Lions of Kumbu.
Hello.
Please talk to us. We can hear you.
Yeah, yes, I'm calling from Kumbu.
Please talk to us. What happened?
No, we are doing fine here in Kumbu.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I'm the brother of Abdul who was shot yesterday.
Oh my God. Abdul's brother, please talk to us. I had a so broken. Condolences.
Yes. Last night I was following TV.
Okay.
Yes, and I heard the program Inside Presidency.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Carry on, please.
Hello?
Carry on. Ambazonians want to hear from you.
I was following TV.
Okay.
The program Inside Presidency.
Inside the presidency, okay.
The journalist said that he who opened the coup closed the doors of the prison.
Okay.
And now I'm doubting that he who killed the student,
Yes.
what has he done?
That's the question.
That's the question now worrying me.
That is the question.
So presently,
Okay.
my brother has gone.
Very terrible.
But we don't know what to do.
Very terrible.
And what I want to tell the Southern community is that there is a Chinese proverb that says, he who wants to build up the mountain will start by picking up the stones.
Yes.
At this particular moment, we should start picking up our stones to build our own mountain.
Yes. Yes.
So there's no problem. We are all seated down.
Yes.
And for we to build up our mountain.
Yes.
So my brother and sister, we should better stay indoors.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
My brother from Kumbu, thank you so much. Brother to Abdul Aziz, our nation is mourning. We cannot explain why Abdul, like all others, stayed at home. There were no rallies organized in our land, and this brutal regime with measures broke down doors, stole, looted, and killed our brother. Send messages of condolences, of solidarity to mom and dad, and say the nation is with you. We thank the people of Kumbu. We can never stop thanking you. We thank those brave soldiers that hosted our beautiful flag. We have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Greetings, sir.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. You're very clear. Carry on, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are very clear. You may carry on. Greetings.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear?
I'm calling from Amberland.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say my condolence to
Yes. Yes.
Now, so, the occupation is this. Yeah, I want to say that as part of the circumstances, the teachers of government schools should know that Mr. Stark was their leader. And this to them all to put down everything and say no to the government of my republic.
Yes.
And if they need to do so, they know that they are working by public to fight back our problem.
Yes.
So it's time for us now to put down everything and say no to the republic.
Yes.
And if they think to do so, they should know that when we restore our education, we are going to take share from the private fighting for the struggle.
Yes.
And now they are fighting for their own baby.
Yes.
If they cannot stop now,
yes,
and they wait to see how our government will set up the government and their own institution of education and to employ them, they should know that they are going to work in the republic.
Yes.
Hello, are you getting?
Very well, very well.
Hello?
We are getting you very well in studio.
Hello?
We can hear you very well.
What is it? You know, the question, and they are anywhere. I am calling for Amalan, and my name is Z-Man.
Thank you. Thank you, compatriot. Message has gone to all of those betrayers. Again, we want to tell our people that it is very warm when you become a Southern Cameroon nationalist, because you stand for justice and truth, and there's a kind of liberation that becomes very refreshing. And to those of you who remain on the side of the oppressor, as either federalist or nationalist, we ask you to join us so that that burden can fall away from your shoulders. It's very warm here. It's very warm because we know that we stand to defend the defenseless. We stand to defend those that are poor and are suffering. Hello.
Hello.
Greetings, my brother.
Hello.
Greetings, you are clear. How are you?
I'm fine. Mr. Taka.
My brother.
Yeah, I want to thank you every day for what you are doing. But I'm sorry, I have to say something. I have to pass a message. Please, just give me 1 minute, please.
Please do, my brother, do.
Yeah. We have a brother called Akwanga. He is doing everything to discourage people. Our brothers and sisters for this, our cause. He's saying all types of rubbish things. I've followed his videos, his live video today. He's discouraging people everywhere not to follow our cause. That is his turning to fail. I have this to tell him.
Okay.
Mr. Kwanga, I am from Bakore, as you are.
Okay.
And to prove to us that you have the support as it has been proven by SCACUF, I want you to call just one day ghost town in your name, in Cameroon or in Boya, your hometown. If that day will be respected by your own people or by the whole of Southern Cameroon, then we can listen to you. Otherwise, you shut up.
Yeah.
You shut up. You are discouraging a lot of people.
Yeah.
I have my brothers and sisters that are calling me to ask me who is Akwanga because he is saying such rubbish things on the media every day.
Yeah.
Akwanga, if you believe that you have supporters who are ready to pick up the AK-47 as you've been singing all along, I don't want you to do that. I just want you to call for one day ghost town in your name.
Yeah.
Tell your people that on Thursday or Sunday or just choose any day and say in your name there should be ghost town. Let's see if that will work.
Yeah.
That is my challenge to Akwanga, to the Playata, to Bohabet and all the rest who are against the SCACUF.
Yeah.
I just want to know they should do that to prove that they have the voice, they have the power on the ground.
Yeah.
Because you cannot take up AK-47 to give to villagers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should prove to us that you have that support back and home. Call for a ghost town. Just one. I'm not saying of 2 days, just 1 day, anytime.
Yeah.
Let's see if you have that support that And you are telling the whole world that you have support, you have people ready on the ground to pick up AK-7. Call for one day constant in your name. Thank you.
My brother from Bakwere land, you for your bravery. We thank you very much. The Southern Cameroon has 8 million people. We have been sending a very strong message from the governing council that this is a time to liberate our people. It is not a time to compete against each other. It is a time to cooperate with each other. His Excellency Sisiko Ayoktabe, the day he was enthroned as leader of our revolution, sent a brotherhood message to all frontline movements that were rebelling against the previous government to come back home, so that together we could march to Boya as one force. We are still sending that message to all our brothers to remember that unity is strength, and that is what our people want. But anybody who chooses disunity is a counter-revolutionary force, and our people must reject that person. We have also the legitimacy as the overriding authority with executive power over our land. We call upon any other front that are still doubting the message of our people to please come back home. We are not in the business of calling names. We're in the business of uniting our people. Come back home. Let's unite and fight together. Host the flag in Boya together and liberate our people. Thank you, brother. The lines are still open. The lines are still open. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. All right, we might have lost that caller. To the brave people of Kumbo, we say thank you. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Greetings, sir. How are you?
Hello.
Greetings, sir. How are you?
Hello.
We can hear you clearly, sir. Good evening, sir. Carry on. How are you? You are very clear in studio. We lost that caller. We have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello. Thank you. Hello.
Greetings, sir.
Yeah, brother.
My brother, how are you?
Yeah, it's blessed.
Wow, nice to hear from you, brother. Carry on, please.
Good evening, sir. Carry on. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Blessed from Paris.
Wow, blessed from Paris. Very nice. Yes, you have the mic. Carry on.
Hello.
Yes, you are very, very clear. Please carry on. Bless, if you can switch off your receiver, I think that's why it's not clear. Reduce the volume or switch off your receiver and carry on.
Very nice. Yes, you have the mic. Carry on.
Good. Please carry on, Bless. We lost that. If you call in studio, please remember to switch off your receiver or reduce the volume. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. I greet you.
Yeah. I'm calling from Kumbu. But I have some people talking those rooms. I feel like crying.
Yes.
What just happened here is that it's a time for us to do something now.
Yes. Oh, we lost that caller. The caller was saying, with what happened in Kumbo, it's time to do something. Let's not get into La République du Cameroon's game plan, because their game plan is to incite our people and force us into war. We'll beat these people more with diplomacy and non-violence than war. And in my two last address from the governing council to you, I'd explained to you. Just ask yourself, why did they release our brothers? They didn't want to. It was untold pressure. Indeed, their initial diabolic plan was to kill some of them and put some of them on life sentence. But war betide them. They have no power to do that. Our lines are still open. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Caller, you're very clear. Greetings.
Hello.
Greetings, sir. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Greetings. Very well, sir. Please carry on. I can hear you clearly.
I'm listening.
Wow, your questions were respected 100%. Congratulations.
Yeah, there's one more that I have. I want to know if on the day of the United Nations Hall, the sitting of the 12th and the 15th, will Ambassador have a seat? Our representative, will they have a seat in the House?
Very good question. Very good question, compatriot from Mamfe. We have consistently told our people that we have been making geometric progress, and that is one of the key outcomes that we're gunning for. So yes, we're doing a lot of diplomatic work to ensure that the Southern Cameroons becomes a topic on the floor so that French Cameroon can be embarrassed. And that would eventually culminate with us having seats at both the AU and UN. All right, but I think that was a very good caller from that question. Let's remember why we are in this struggle. We want to restore our independence. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. It might be wise to say we will restore the independence of the Southern Cameroons, and indeed we will. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
I greet you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Greetings. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
Yes, you can speak. We can hear you clearly.
Hello.
Yes, hello, how are you? We lost that caller. Our lines are still open. To those of you who have not registered, go to www.scacuf.org. Load that platform with all the numbers you have. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello, I greet you, sir. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, we're fine.
Wonderful. Carry on, please.
Yeah, I want to comment on the last one, the last guy just talk about.
Yes.
Concerning discouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What is happening?
Oh, yes. You see, our people are very worried with counter-revolutionary forces that are creating disunity in our ranks. We send a message of love to them from the governing council to come back home. Let's be like one man, go out and attack the one common opponent, La Republic du Cameroon. Thank you, brothers. We understand how you feel. We are disappointed. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Caller, can you hear me? We lost that caller. Our lines are still open. As we show solidarity with Kumbo, Bam Kifam. Hello, caller. Families that lost loved ones. How are you?
No, I'm fine. I'm calling from Ambalan, Uganda.
So, from the land of the warriors. Carry on, please.
We're in Tambi.
Yes, yes. Carry on, please.
No, we are fine.
Good, good, good. Carry on. Tell us how the ghost towns and the schools boycott went.
Yesterday, we saw the phone of Louis trying to force children to go to school.
Oh, the fund trying to force children to go to school.
Hello?
Yes, yes. You are saying the fund was trying to force children to go to school. Tell us more.
Yeah. They were moving around trying to
Yeah,
the phone was trying to force children to go to school.
Okay.
And then it was the children.
Wonderful. The children rejected his rule.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What a message.
My division called, that was how the phone was also doing.
Yes. Yes. So we need to send a message to some of our funds and chiefs. And I think funds and chiefs, sons and daughters of the funds and chiefs, family members of these funds and chiefs, you are hearing, we advise you. Thanks, my brother. We advise you to advise your parents to make sure that they respect the will of the Ambazonian people. But Yaoundé has destroyed most of their thrones. We want to reinstall the dignity, and we need them to stand with and not against the people. We hope that's a very clear message from the Governing Council. The lines are still open, fellow citizens of our land, fellow viewers. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello.
I greet you. Greetings, carry on, sir.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, brother.
This is Braxton from Belgium.
Oh, Belgium, we're proud of you. Carry on, please.
No, I'm fine, sir. I called in reference to a caller that you called, and he said something.
Talk for pidgin, yes.
I want to say this, so I stand with all our frontline leaders. Our leaders, they are the best in what they do, and our old leaders in this struggle, they don't stand the test of time, and they represent our people, and they do the best for liberate homeland. I want to extend my condolences for the families with the killer for Bui County.
Yeah.
And I want to thank our people tremendously for their efforts with the put their input to sustain good stance.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Our people, the two picking away the killer, I want to tell the family, say, we'll deal with them in spirit, and now the coffin revolution, this will stop at nothing.
Yes.
Because it is will inflict the same pain with the stand for we.
Yeah.
With the one like Republic, and with the 10 like Republic, say this so on the 1st of October, we will restore our independence.
Yeah.
And our independence be non-negotiable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, I like your concluding word, independence, the restoration of the statehood and sovereignty of the Southern Cameroons is non-negotiable. And never and never and never again will we allow occupiers to lord over our land. Hello, caller. And when you call from the homelands, tell us what happened with the cross, with the Passover night or day, with the white pieces of cloth. What happened? Whistles, shutdown of schools, and ghost towns. Hello, caller. We want to hear what happened for home. Hello, caller. If anybody is calling from the diaspora, you call back. Tell me what your family back home tell you. This is a moment of encouragement for all of us as Ambazonians and Southern Cameroonians. Hello, caller.
Yes, Mr. Milton, this is Yassam speaking.
I greet you, sir. Yassam, wow, I greet you, my brother.
Yes, Mr. Milton. Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Yassam. So good to hear from you. Carry on, brother.
Wow, I want to congratulate you for the wonderful job you are doing. I'm just following you up on my issue.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yes, I want to also pass my condolences for the family that have passed away in Bui.
Yes.
And I want to say they should know that, as our brother has just said, the corporate regulation that is going on, and we are behind all of you.
Absolutely.
We are behind the spirit and everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys are doing a wonderful job. We have said we will contribute our own best, we can contribute.
Yes.
As with regard to our excellency,
yes.
Mr. Ko Ayok.
Okay.
Let's plan how we will land in Boya. We shall take one jet. I don't know how we are going to do it, but let's take one jet.
Yes.
And maybe we can plan a meeting in one country so that the whole Europe, the whole America will meet and take one plane.
Wonderful.
So that when we are crossing the border airport in Douala, The United Nations should be looking at the private aeroplane that we are taking to Boya. It should be one place from diaspora. So when we enter Douala, Boya, United Nations, they will be there to wait for us.
Wonderful.
Let us plan now, because we will not need that. Thank you.
That's a wonderful proposal. Thank you so much. And to all our brothers in the diaspora, His Excellency SCACUF has said ready to come back home and rebuild home, making a restoration day the first. Jasam says we'll fly into one airport, 1 million to 2 million of about 2,000 La Republic soldiers, brutal gendarmes, or security forces can arrest us. Wonderful proposal. That will be considered. Thank you very much, Jasam. The lines are still open. Condolences pouring to our brothers and sisters in Kumbo, our parents in Kumbo for their great loss. We as a nation are in mourning. Thank you very much, brother. And I think two things you said again. You're watching SCBs in your house. We encourage all our citizens to install SCBs in their houses or download the app on your phone so that you can be informed. You see, if you're not informed, you are deformed. It's very easy to believe the lies of La Republic to Cameroon. Hello, caller. Oh, we lost that caller. Some equally talked about contributions. We can't free this country without sacrifice. Money, time, effort, intellect. What are you doing for Ambazonia? Hello, caller.
Hello.
Agreed you?
Hello.
Yes. Hello, sister. How are you?
Hello.
I can hear you clearly.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
You clearly. Can you hear me? Hello, sister. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Very good. Carry on, please.
Good
evening, my sister.
Good evening.
Good evening. Carry on.
I'm fine. I'm calling from Bamenda.
Wow. Adakwa. Carry on, please.
I'm calling from Bamenda.
Tell us what happened.
I'm calling from Bamenda.
I hear you. Tell us what happened.
Yeah. So I want to congratulate you for all the things that you do.
Okay.
And I want to tell you, we for Bamenda, yesterday, some people were singing from City Kenny Junction.
Yes.
No person there.
Wow.
Every person is closed. Every place is closed.
Yes.
The path door is for T junction.
Yes.
No dog cross the road.
Wow.
So I want to talk is when you can add this, we can add this thing as we remove the atom. We want to make this atom again 3 days. Please we continue to go for 8 days.
Yes.
We just day. So that we end for Sunday, we end for Saturday,
yes.
we start for Monday again. Go down to go all for good.
Wow.
Because this thing is too much.
Wow.
Enough is enough.
Wow.
My name is Taka.
Well, Mami, Mami, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mami.
Long live Ambazonia. Long live
Ambazonia, Mami.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mami. Mami, don't make us I won't cry inside studio here. Thank you, Mami. I think all Ambazonia, they don't hear you, Mami. The day is they cry. So even dog or fowl, step, no cross the road. Say don't too much. Maybe even add the ghost town step to 6 days. Well, Mami, Asha. In fact, some people they be big semi governing council make them 5 days. But remember, say we need more equally do small economic life. So we don't hear. Hello, greetings.
Hello.
I greet you, sir. How are you?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Greetings.
Yes, Taka.
My brother.
Yes. Yes, we enjoy too.
Thank you, sir. Carry on, please.
I am calling from Uyuka.
Okay.
Yes. We are saying you everything's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Let us talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I like that.
Our back are very serious.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
We are confident.
We have some.
Bless us.
God bless us.
And all of you working for us. We don't exactly delight.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I receive the thanks on behalf of all freedom fighters, all nationalists, all who are doing whatever they can do. And to those of you professionals who still have not contributed a franc, a dollar, we ask upon you to please do the right thing. This is a moment to sacrifice our nation. This is not a moment to sit on the fence. One day you will ask yourself, what did I do? You can prevent that today by joining a SCACUF meeting around your neighborhood or any of our frontline movements and just focusing on the struggle and contributing your part. Our peers are saying enough is enough, and we have taken back our country, and you better believe that, because indeed we have taken back our country. Our lines are still open. Hello, callers. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Caller, I greet you. Greetings, caller. Caller, can you hear me? We struggled and we lost the caller, but the lines are still open. Look at the number on the screen. Call into studio. Citizens, what a proud moment for Ambazonians. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Greetings, sir. You're very clear. Carry on.
Milton, this is Peter calling in from Dubai.
My brother from Dubai, we're very proud of you. Please carry on.
Let me begin by congratulating you and the Government Council for the great job.
Thank you, sir.
That you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to address everybody today, beginning from people who are staying out for the benefit of the struggle.
Yeah.
But it's not for the struggle, it is for them.
It's for their future.
So if you are a pupil and you are at home and you are getting distractions from your playmates or from some of your parents who are forcing you to go to school,
yeah,
do not think that you are too small to take a decision.
Yeah.
You have to think about your future. You have to dream about being the great person that you have been dreaming about, or that person whom you have been admiring to become tomorrow. So think about it and tell your parents that you do not want to jeopardize that future that you are looking forward to.
True.
Give God sent to the students. If you are a student, be you in secondary or high school, think about all the famous people that you have been seeing and that you have been admiring. And ask yourself a question. Isn't it possible for me to be like that person tomorrow?
Yep.
Once you ask yourself that question, then you will have an answer to stand for this struggle and tell your parents or whoever is forcing you to do the wrong thing, no. Yeah. Not that you are being disobedient to your parents, but because you want the right thing for yourself and for your parents, who might be thinking that by forcing you to do the wrong thing now and collecting a few cents from the Republic, it's going to make your life better.
True.
So let the students keep this in mind. Now, to the university graduate, think about the time that you were in the University of Boya, when you were in Swa, when you were in Wakene, when you could not afford salt to put into your soup, when you could not afford 100 pounds to buy bread, to have dinner. Think about the time you couldn't even have 50 pounds to photocopy your handouts, all because of the system in which we all found ourselves. Once you think about these things, please, think harder. Whether you went to school all alone, whether your parents spent on you all along.
Yeah.
Just for you to end up being an Okada driver, rider, or a taxi driver with a degree in your pocket.
Absolutely.
Or to be a call vendor.
Yeah.
Let us think hard about these things and take the right decision for ourselves.
Yeah.
And for those who are in the diaspora, even those who are back home who are graduate, please, this is our time to stand up and say no to the Republic and yes to the Governing Council.
Absolutely.
We will listen only to the Governing Council and the Governing Council alone.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be deceived at any time to give into any place coming from our politicians who have completely lost value in our society.
Yeah.
So let us keep this in mind.
Yeah.
Milton, if you would permit me, I would like to address my people in 1 minute.
Please address your people. Address your people in your vernacular. Please do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, until my government council, they will not even school. After you even to get monetized from the government council, or the zoo, but you know Republic, and the agent don't do nothing, then the parliamentarian or the senator. But that is you only. The woman you want to know, the woman will let not do it. The government council so that for coming at one buya. I will be. John can make us the both away. Thank you very much and that God bless you and bless the government council.
Thank you.
We are solidly behind you.
Thank you, sir.
And by the grace of God, for those who doubt it, we have no doubt. Buya is sure.
Definitely.
And to the Republic, I would want to tell the Republic that we are getting closer to the seashores of the Red Sea. It would be better for them to back up, otherwise, Pharaoh and his soldiers will be swallowed up in the Red Sea.
Absolutely.
Like it happened then.
Absolutely.
God bless Ambassador. Thank you very much, Milton.
God bless you, my brother. I'm so glad you address your people in your vernacular. One of the greatest things that happened as we mobilized towards Crossover Day was indeed WhatsApp messages that went on different forums where this person spoke in Bafut saying, listen, this is the law from Governing Council and all our people must respect that. We call upon all leaders in other communities to create WhatsApp messages in your own local dialect so that our people, the poorest of the poor, those in villages can clearly understand the message that is coming from the Governing Council so that we never get diluted with the lies from La Republic de Cameroon. We know that Issa Chiruma is watching SCBC live now as we speak, that Mr. Paul Biya, his agents and his surrogates are watching, that so many citizens of La Republic de Cameroon now enjoy our channel more than CRTV. Our people take pride in this wonderful asset for the Southern Cameroons and enjoy it. Keep asking the questions and making comments. And to those of you that were live on the ground in different parts of our country, please call in and tell us how the ghost towns and school boycotts were observed in different counties, villages, and towns. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. We'd like to tell our people that we've got 17 minutes to the end of this press hour. So if you have any comments or questions, this is time for you to call in. It's Milton Taka addressing you from the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonian State House. Our lines are still open. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello.
I greet you, sir.
Yeah, there's something I want to remind you. I want to thank you for no one's effort. We thank you for everything. But we know that our brothers over there in the Republic, they are so committed, they are so diabolic. These are brothers who are just free. Are we very sure that our lives are safe, they're in good health, they need to be taken to a good hospital and be checked?
Yes.
So that we are sure that they are free and they are free for once.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother, very good point. I'd like to announce to our nation that the Governing Council is getting in touch with our brothers, one after another, that have been released from jail. We made a promise that would ensure that they are checked so that what happened to La Piro de Banga does not happen to them again. And of course, as they've come out of jail, this criminal government can still arrest them. So let our people remember to be our brothers and sisters keepers. Your whistles must forever remain active and do not allow one Ambazonian citizen kidnapped by this terrorist government again. Thank you, brother, for your call. The lines are still open. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Oh, we lost that caller. We just have about 15 minutes to the end of this press hour. We have a caller on the line. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening,
My brother, I greet you. Carry on, please. I greet you, brother. I greet you, brother. Carry on. I hear you clearly as well. Carry on, please. Oh, we lost the caller. Our lines are still open. Our lines are still open. Ambazonians are celebrating victory. We have a hello, caller. Can you hear me, caller?
Hello.
Greetings, sir.
Yes.
Evening, brother.
Good evening.
Evening, brother. You're very clear. Very clearly, please carry on.
I want to ask the father a question.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Carry on, sir. We can hear you.
Hello.
We hear you clearly, sir. Carry on.
I want to ask the father.
Okay.
They did school to go back.
Yes.
What about the fees we pay last week? Are we to pay the fees? The other question is, when the government said the school should go back, and they are paying the teachers, where they are the school to go back and they are not paying the young teachers tuition? Are you getting me?
Very clearly, yes.
Oh, okay. I want to ask the parents for the first 9 months, the next thing that I talk about justice, who is this person talking about?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They are not yes.
All right.
Are you getting me?
All right. Yes, please, just carry on again. It got mixed up there. Just repeat what you said.
Okay, I want to repeat that the church should go back. What about the fees they paid last year? Are they going to repeat the fees?
Oh, very good question.
And then, number 2 question. The usual father says that so school should go back and they're not paying the teacher, but the government says school should go back and they're paying the teacher.
Very good question.
Have they received right? They are told the right of the Christian.
Very good question.
They have sold us Christians. And that's very bad. I'm turning directly to the fathers and the bishops.
Yes.
To put the
Yes. Yes. I think that's a very loud message. Thank you, sir. That's a very loud message. From the Governing Council, we've been very clear that this is a God-ordained struggle, and that God is with our people all along the way. We are saddened that the church that was with us, some elements within the church seem to be drifting apart and giving the church a bad name. And we're hoping that the church is listening to our people. We want to build a society that is God-fearing, and we believe that as Jesus, the church must stand beside the oppressed and the weak. Clear message to the church. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. All right, unfortunately, we lost that caller. Our lines are still open. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello?
My sister, greet you.
Hello?
My sister, you are clear. Greetings.
Hello?
My sister, greetings. How are you? Please carry on. Unfortunately, we lost that caller. We have another caller on the line. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. We have just 10 press hour. Our lines are still open. We'd like to hear from the field. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Messages of condolences from our people continue to pour down to our people in Kumbo. Hello, caller. We will not have two last callers, so the lines are open for the two lucky Ambazonians or viewers who want to call into studio. Hello, caller. Good evening, ma'am.
I'm calling from Balinda.
Yes, ma'am. Please carry on.
I'm calling from Balinda.
Okay.
Hello?
Ma'am, we hear you. Please carry on.
Hello?
My dear, we hear you. Please carry on.
Hello?
We hear you. Carry on.
Hello?
Unfortunately,
From Balinda.
yes, talk to us.
Yes, I want to say that they are saying the school is going, school is not going.
Okay.
Because one person come and work in my house here and his teacher, the teacher for a college.
Yes.
They claim that they are not paying them.
Yes.
They are not paying them. Make them pay their teacher. Now school is going. I never see one children for school is going.
Okay.
I'm calling from Balinda.
Well, mommy, thank you.
I'm thanking Una for the work that Una is doing.
Thank you, mommy.
And Brazona.
Thank you, mommy. In your honor, when I give my closing word, it must be in an inside pidgin. I'll be very proud of you and very grateful for your call. I want to get one last caller. Just one last caller, and then we close. Who's the lucky last viewer to call into studio? 1 minute only. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. I can't hear this caller. Oh, we lost the caller. All right, fellow Ambazonians and fellow Southern Cameroonians, I want to take this opportunity for Tangwana Plenty from the Governing Council. I want to say all Wana greetings from the Head of State President, His Excellency Siko Ayoktabe, and all man for Governing Council. They say, I tell all the people that say they be very proud of Una. Because over the last 3 days, Una don't send a very powerful message to Yaoundé. Say Yaoundé don't fail. Yaoundé, with people they don't defeat you. Yaoundé, you be past tense when it comes to the issue of the Southern Cameroons. And say you know fit stop the independence of the Southern Cameroons. Say may we tell Yaoundé, say the time where you don't make up with people that have suffer, we begin to learn book, then come out, they not forget work, that they suffer inside town. So when they go white man country, they suffer. Say that time don't pass. Say make we tell you Yaoundé, say your Konino go fit continue again. Because if Yaoundé, especially you, Mr. President Paul Biya, you be being a good man, that time will be the release of you, Yaoundé, say who side Senator Pende. Who side that we fine Papa, Comrade Asa Patrick Dango. We be give some small video show, say you be put them inside a hole where you no get light, you no get water, you no get nothing. With people they say, maybe you stop the criminal act where you arrest people, they not do nothing, carry some of them, go look up a place, no man, no. Make them with people, them, even the years they don't kill some, bury them inside mass graves. Say why you don't declare, or you don't carry what you would call them undisclosed, terrorist attempts on. Why you make a military there for all sides of the country, people they not live free. So would it tell you, Yaoundé, say it don't correct. And say for all the people the way your people they don't kill them, that soldier them, that bad soldier them, we don't send them, some one way not people them. So make you make sure, so you investigate them with all the criminal offense where they carry them out. We equally tell Mami and Papa of a village, say, una government, interim government for the Southern Cameroon and Amazonia, led by the governing council, they don't call upon that big governor them for international community, Britain, France, China, Russia, Germany, Nigeria, South Africa, and other one them. They call upon international organizations, them, African Union, United Nations, Amnesty International, say may they investigate the brutality and atrocity them where this terrorist government, where they call them La Republic government, they don't commit them inside the land. Because they don't rape with people them plenty, especially girls and women them. They don't carry extrajudicial killing where they shoot people them for very, very bad place. They don't brutalize with people them, maim someone them, make us someone they nothing work again, send their people they can't thief inside the land. Governing council say more tang wana plenty because the way when I hold the ghost town, it shows say when I be waiting plenty. It look like say if governing council be make Nigeria one day goes down, we have for vex plenty. So Mami even called in night say more make them 6 days. But we beg say more leave them for 3 days now. So that over the next 3 days when I feel go farm, go market, go walk, when I feel get small chop, feed with people there. We get lawyers and teachers inside when I meet where they don't get salary. We beg when I give them gari, when I give them potatoes. When I give them oil, when I give them Maggi, now we people them where they don't decide for sacrifice and ensure, say we liberate our country. We tell we people, they say, may no man no fear. Say, what would you do is correct. Say, according to what man, it be very legal, it be very just. In fact, man where he had clean, he must join the palaver. But we say, may we not continue to be disciplined. When we say, may man no go school, may man no go school. If we say, ghost town, ghost town. If we say, may we not keep on a picking of a house, we not keep picking of a house. That we picking them when I hear say they shoot them. Now because the criminal government go broke people their house, they move them, shoot them. Because rally they will say we will provoke them. We people they not provoke, no. But we want to show we people them from governing council. Say we go be free. So when I live inside the land again, where they no go terrorize una, where they no go rape una, where then when I send picking of school, they go grow be big people them, so that when they turn they go hell up una. So we'll take our country, fix road them so that you no go get pothole for all place. We'll take our country, fix road so that village them, they will get tired, good nice road there. Una product them from farm, we go create market. We go make sure so we provide una good water for village. We provide una with electricity. We ensure say the leader them where they lead una, na good people them where they make una place they grow. Now me when I picking Milton Taka, when a spokesperson for governing council for Africa, I declare on behalf of the leadership, say Amazonia go be free. God bless una.
Cameroon Anglophone activists have been very vocal online with hashtags associated with each of their demands. Hashtag Free All Arrested started in January after protesters were put in jail. Many online are still using it to push for dozens of others to be freed. The latest conversation, though, is hashtag Ghost Town, encouraging English speakers not to leave their homes. You can see the empty streets here. That also includes not going to school. The protests were originally started by teachers and lawyers frustrated with the dominance of French in society. Activists in southern Cameroon say boycotting the first day back to school was a huge success. But if you look at pro-government newspapers, the government published headlines showing kids going back to school as if everything was normal in the north and southwest regions. Many are calling this propaganda. Others, though, are protesting, calling for an English-speaking autonomous state. Earlier, we spoke to an activist who asked us not to reveal his identity.
8 months on, and they are not willing to send their kids to school. It should be noted here that schools were officially supposed to resume today, but no parent is willing to send their kids to school. I would like to, at this point, make mention of the fact that some people think that parents are not sending their kids to school because of the militarization of these two regions. But no, The root causes of the problem have not been tackled. How do you want the kids to go back to the system that they were protesting against, the system that they want clean? So that's the reason why the parents aren't sending their kids to school. Forget the online hyping. People say everything they want on the internet, but come to the ground, nobody is willing, and nobody's forcing anyone, because it's a peaceful protest.
Other groups, though, are against the protest. Ben Aki from the group English Cameroon for a United Cameroon does not want the country to break into two states. Aki says that he gave up his Cameroonian citizenship when he moved to Canada, but he still regularly posts comments online.
I have many issues with the government in Cameroon, but these issues pale in comparison with the hatred and the harm propagated by the separatist group of Ambazonia. The way the crisis was going in the course of the year, there was a clear danger that it could transition into a civil war. That is when I got involved with my group. So what we want to do now is to make sure that children go back to school. They have lost one academic year, and that's too much. We have also offered practical suggestions for balanced regional development. But what we oppose with all our heart is secession, is the creation of an independent Republic of Ambazonia, because that does not solve any problem.
The UN has called for the English and French-speaking sides to engage in a dialogue. But since the protest began last year, the government's main reaction has been to crack down on the Anglophone regions, mainly in southern Cameroon. Security forces have shot and killed at least 6 people and arrested hundreds of others. Still, pro-English activists say they will keep protesting. Ian here took to Twitter writing, "We shall overcome someday." If you're in Cameroon, we want to know what you think. You can write me directly at Leah Harding, AJE.
Hail this land of glory, we the Amazonians pledge our loyalty. Praise to our Savior who granted us allegiance to the hero who bowed along with Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.